I said hook me up.
I'll try.
I need to go on lunch and get a job too. Okay.
Phew, okay.
Sana also worked here with all the stress of this university, with all the extracurricular activities. Sana had the nerve to also get a part-time job. With all our inconsistent schedules.
Oh
you
God.
worked in first year.
Yes.
As an international student. So how was that experience for you? Was it online? Was it in person? Like how were you able to balance all of that?
So speaking about legal experience, again, as I said, it was like an insecurity of mine where I was like, I don't have anything to, vouch for myself or put on my, even a resume, to put on my resume, I have like a legal intern or something,
Now
you know?
you have a lot.
Yeah, I'll speak about it.
Like four-page resume right now.
So I started applying to places and I came across on LinkedIn a startup. It was called the Patch app. Mm-hmm. And they were hiring legal interns. It was, especially if you're going to pursue a legal career here in the UK, it would have been helpful, but because it wasn't as much, but it was more so of a speaking coach kind of role, more than like a legality based type of role where we were discussing law and stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But why I say it would have been helpful if I was from here or going to like
live here in the UK,
to live here, yeah, you build connections. So when I'm talking to a lawyer or a principal lawyer or like a founding principal solicitor or whatever, if they like you, they will refer you. And I've been asked, like, are you going to pursue a career? And I was like, oh, no. And they're like, well, you would have been a good candidate. And
I was like, can you refer me in Canada? You have partners
I was
in
gonna
Canada?
say, I literally asked. I said that, so like, what about in Canada? And then they're like, oh, no, like it's like a global law firm, but they're their own entity. Like, we don't interfere like that.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's fair. But again, if you were to continue a career here, that would have been a great opportunity.
Yeah.
Patrick is great. He's the founder of Patch, and he's a great guy.
We gotta stop. Mm-hmm. We're over our time, and the people who own the room are here. We gotta find another place to continue this video.
We almost got kicked out. Well, we did.
I know! They were just staring at us. Well, they're gone now, but they don't have to be here. Okay, let's
do this.
Look for... I don't even know how the camera was placed before. You know what? Take this video as it is. It's raw and unedited. Okay. All right. What was I going to say?
Where were we?
The fun part. What's the fun part? Work as an international student.
Very fun.
So you also worked here whilst in law school. Let us know what your roles were, online or in person, and what was that experience like for you?
Great. So starting off with first semester, as I said, one of my biggest insecurities was not having any like legal experience.
Yeah.
So my biggest goal throughout was applying, just mass applying on LinkedIn, easy apply, whatever it took, just apply. Mm-hmm. For one of them where it was the Patch app, I applied, that was a legal intern role. It wasn't really a legal based. It was more so like speaking coach versus like, just like I was interacting with legal professionals, but not as at a legal level. It was more so like at a speaking coach level.
Yeah.
Then that was my first experience. It was unpaid. It was just, I think for me at that point, it was like one, I gain experience, I get connections. And third thing, was resume added on LinkedIn. It was a nice thing because the title was a legal intern. So it was great. I gained a lot of transferable skills, a lot of in general knowledge from the job itself. Second semester came along.
And that was online.
Yes, that was online, and it was very student friendly. I chose my schedule wherever I could. It was like 10-15 minute calls. That's literally it, and then that's very simple.
That's good.
Second semester, I didn't really get a job on campus, but I did. Thank God, secured a summer law position. In Canada.
I didn't know this.
You didn't?
I didn't have no law position in Canada.
Did you not stalk my LinkedIn?
Why would I stalk your LinkedIn?
You should, okay? You should. I worked really hard on it.
Okay, I will. You will start getting emails from LinkedIn. Ella is looking at your profile.
I'm gonna screenshot that and post it. I'm like, I got banned.
Oh my God.
But yeah, and that was completely a cold email. I went to like this, I was part of a lot of organizations. One of them was called Pre-Law Shadowers, in which the principal lawyer was a...
Can you hook me up?
I'm trying to hook myself up. There's a hooking up happening right now. But yeah, so she was a female lawyer in her field, estate litigation, which is very male dominated.
Yeah.
And she started her own firm that was very woman oriented, considering they are moms, considering that they have their own schedules, they have their own needs. Fun fact, they would never lie about their schedules. They would literally put like 2 to 3 nail appointment. It was the most transparent thing ever. I loved
good. That's healthy.
Very healthy, and I loved working there. Like the environment, we got lunches like every single time we worked. It was great. It was a great experience. Again, it was a cold email I just sent out being like, I organized an event, you're a speaker at it, I would love to get to know more about your experience. I did some research about their firm in its entirety. There was one lawyer from UOB. She graduated from there, she came there, so she was an internationally trained. So I mentioned that, I'm like, you house a lot of internationally trained lawyers, so I would love to learn more.
Yeah.
Went back because I was here, and then I went back, had a lunch with them. 2 hours later, I was offered the position. There was no position.
Amazing.
There was no position. They made a position. There was.
Whoa!
Yeah, it was crazy. They were like.
Wait! Don't rush through this. First of all, you didn't apply for VP position and you got it, and now you didn't even get an interview, and they created a role for you.
Yeah. It was. I was so thankful because when I went in, the intention was to create a long-lasting relationship.
I said, hook me up.
I'll try.
I need to go on lunch and get a job too. That's what I need to do.
I'm telling you, it's cold emails because that's literally what I did, and it clearly worked out in my favor.
Maybe I should start doing that because someone else has told me about cold emails too. But
I didn't believe in it. I genuinely, I was like, they're just gonna be like junk, but clearly not. And then I went in, and then they asked me like, what is my expectation of them? And it was a lunch, so I didn't want to talk too much about what I wanted from them. But I was like, for me, it's more so about gaining experience in whichever capacity, because at the end of the day, it's so important. And I really, a lot of people would ask me like, what do you want to like specialize in? And I'm like, I don't know, because I have no exposure.
That's true.
And then they were like, oh, okay, that's nice to hear, but we'll keep in touch. That's all they said. And then I didn't check my email until the next day, but they sent it 2 hours later.
Wow.
And they're like, we do need a lot of help, like administratively, plus like you can sit in on consultations and make notes for us. It was like a bunch of things where they let me take reins of my learning, and I really appreciate that time there with Elm Law. Shout out to Elm Law.
That's so good. Yeah, send the video to her.
Yeah.
Like, share, subscribe.
It was a
hire me.
They are TikTok famous.
I should probably get on TikTok too.
But yeah, it was a great experience.
Okay.
And then that was amazing. A great summer.
Was it for the entire how many
all
months
of summer?
of
4 months. 4 months of summer.
4 months?
Yeah.
Was it a paid role? If you don't mind me asking. Really?
It was a paid role.
So they created a role for women. Women supporting women.
I'm telling you, it was beautiful.
Wow.
And
that's
like
amazing.
Yeah, and like the way like they were like, there were so many internationally trained lawyers there that they were reassuring me that you will find your place. They're like, it's scary, but you'll find your place. And I'm like, that feels so nice to hear. And like even to this day, like if I was to be like, can I join you guys for lunch, they'd probably say yes. But yeah, come on in. But
it's in the GCA. I'm asking for my own personal
benefits. In Durham
benefits.
region. Yeah, it's a little far. Sorry, it's like 10 minutes from my house, but. Yeah, so I got exposure there.
I'm breathing for myself.
You got this. No, genuinely, it is hard though. It's really, really competitive, but we got this.
Thank you.
We for that I got estate litigation exposure and family law. I really enjoyed family law, but it was great. I thought I was too sensitive family law because I'm like I'd probably get so emotional and be like, that guy sucks or that woman is so evil. But like it was very
eye-opening.
Yeah, it was eye-opening. It felt like I was making again a difference because when people would come in, a lot of them were like custody issues, separation agreements, all that type of stuff, drafting those, learning how to do that. I felt like I was actually making an impact.
That's amazing.
I did a lot of administrative roles in terms of like the way I was like taking in clients, making files, sending out retainer agreements. I feel like I learned a lot just through terminology because I would read things because they had templates and then I was like, oh, okay, so what does this mean? And they would sit there and teach it to me without like any second thought.
And that's way better than like coming into class for
100 very
11 weeks of lecture and like learning about things from the 1800s and how it now applies today.
Yeah. So they had like Elm Law, which was like their full on like litigation / like everything team, and then they had like a subsect that was like divorce buddy.
Okay.
And that was like for self-represented individuals that didn't want to go through the whole litigation process, but they did need help. For example, Form AA. They would be like, we filled this out. Can you look it over if it's good enough? You're paying by like the half hour or hour. You're not paying like the
For the
whole
entire
like
legal
retainer.
fees, yeah. That's good.
Very
you're
helpful.
also solving problems for people too.
Exactly. So I helped with that too. So I learned so much. I'm like, if people who, in complete like layman terms, they're trying to get to know the process, I should be doing the same.
Yeah.
So when they would come in, I researched on my own and I was like, okay, cool. And then I would suggest things. And it was so rewarding when like, I usually keep my mouth shut during consultations because again, I'm not experienced. I don't have anything. But then once they left, I introduced an idea and they were like, you should have spoken about it from the client. And I was like, are you saying I'm smart? So that was really nice. Point being, it was a really like nice environment in which, and I feel like not everyone's blessed to have that initial good interaction with the law firm. I feel like there's a lot of negative or like demeaning behavior, but I think God blessed me there where I was able to have such a positive experience first time into a law firm.
I totally agree. It has to be a blessing because how many people do you hear? I went on a lunch and they created a role. Not only did they create a role, they offered me a paid position because people like free work in this world.
100% advantage. So take advantage of us. But yeah,
that's amazing. What was I doing in the summer? I was uploading YouTube videos.
Hey, and like now someone's gonna
making a difference.
Yeah, no, genuinely, this is so thoughtful of you because genuinely, I don't know if I've said it to you before, but when I was researching about the UK, it was so hard to figure out anything. There was no resources, nothing. The limited amount that we did have was like University of Leicester maybe. Or
I didn't even know about University of Leicester.
Oh really? I found like a couple of videos, but nothing like in depth, like what you're doing, like in terms of every single thing, breaking it down. And I feel like it's gonna be so helpful. Maybe not now, maybe not a couple of months, but down the road, it's gonna be so beneficial. And forget the views, okay? It's about your heart.
She said, forget the views. Why are you putting me on blast?
I mean your heart. You're making such a big difference, okay? And as a current student, I value your work.
Thank you so much. I will forget the views for the next 2 weeks.
It's more so about like, everyone at the end of the day wants exposure like that, right? And of course, like when you're making content, you want to make sure it gets to the right audience.
That's
right.
That's honestly it for me.
Genuinely, like there's so many people that even now when they were applying for pro bono, they were like, like how was it? And I'm like, now you would know because there's someone who's vlogging this whole thing. Genuinely, I don't have it in me to do this, but proud of you, man. Genuinely.
Thank you so much, Sana. That means a lot to me. Thank you. I actually will forget the view count until when it starts,
views matter. Each view is a person who benefited from your video. Okay, views matter.
That's true. All right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, but one last thing.
All right.
My last position.
Yes. I was going to remind you about that one.
That was a payroll and administrator position.
That was second year. That was in University of Birmingham.
Yeah,
right?
Second year, last semester. Yes. Yeah. It was supposed to be a 4-week role, but they hired like 5 people and we really like expedited through it. So it was whenever we finished, they just told us bye. We should have taken longer, low-key.
You guys worked too hard.
Yeah.
Was it all Canadians that were hired?
No, actually.
It makes a difference.
I think I was a tryhard. I think I was just trying to getting it over with.
Stringed it along, earned more pounds.
Yeah, and they said that they could have, but I don't know. It was dumb with me. I think it was kind of getting a lot because I would have to wake up like at 7, like not wake up, get there for 7, and then right before school because it was very like tailored to my schedule.
Yeah, our fluctuating schedule. Yeah, I was going to ask about that. Week.
Yeah. Don't appreciate it whatsoever. Coming from Canada, where we have such a structured semesters, and you can actually get a job. Over here, forget any external employer. I got rejected from a job where I got to the interview position for internally, like for like
in UOB.
Yeah, as a reception. For like the work link, and they're like, oh, so what hours can you work? And this is after they basically said that you got this, like you're good, you're good to go. I'm like, oh, my thing fluctuates all the time, but I'm available. They're like, fluctuates. I'm like, yeah. And they're like, okay, that might be an issue. Honestly, that we can't work around that. We need like consistent. And I'm like, I get you, but you know this uni. Yeah. You know what it is, but yeah. But anyways,
maybe it's a law school problem. Maybe other programs have theirs fixed because I know I've spoken to random people like. I don't know where I met someone who's in the math program. Theirs is pretty structured. Yeah. It is math, so maybe it has something to do with that. But I think each program or college, whatever, has a way of structuring their thing. But ours is just...
It's not. It's crazy. Very... Yeah, I think that was one thing because for me, for undergrad, I did really well because I think I was able to create schedules that worked for me. Yeah. And not having to constantly be like, so what do I have?
Yeah, what's going on next week? Is it cancelled?
Yeah, cancelled, moved around.
Something new coming up. Did they change the lecture room? Blah, blah, blah.
I think that is something that we've also brought up to the dean, but they said that's not in their control, so... That's upsetting. But yeah, so the payroll and administrator position, that was very, that was just lasted like 3-4 weeks. But it was a good experience to have. Again.
And good money.
Yeah, it's good money.
Pounds.
Good pounds.
You can say you earn in pounds.
Pounds.
GBP
conversion double.
I know.
But yeah, so that was good because of 2 reasons. Pounds. Second was...
Stop it.
Second was, again, resume building. I think it's really important. I think the way you framed it right now was like, oh, you had law school, you were deputy chair, plus you had a job. It sounds good. It's like, it's
It is good.
Yeah.
It is good. What you like? I don't think you know what you've done yet until maybe when we graduate, and then maybe you have time. I don't know if you're one of those people that updates your resume at the same time when things are going. I tend to do it after the effect.
Okay.
But when you start doing that and you get to 4 pages on your resume and you're like, I have to start taking things out. Yeah. That's when you know how much you did.
Yeah,
that's when it's gonna be like.
I feel like I live in the
God.
future. It's like always like constantly thinking about next. After this NCAs, after this what?
Oh yeah.
And it's like I feel like it's never enough.
Yeah.
I feel like you always go through that guilt where it's like, when will it be enough?
Yeah.
When people around you are like, oh, we're done like 10 readings and you're just at like 5 and you're like, oh.
Please, who's done 10 readings? At this time, there's nobody that's done 10 readings, including the profs. It took them 10 years to probably do the reading. This is me venting. So, I'm just talking because like at the lecture today, it's like, oh, this case is really important. And this case, you should read this. And this case,
this case brings a different perspective.
Yeah, just tell me what the perspective is. And it's
the worst because it's like that section like 111 saying, this could also be this. You could have told me that in lecture.
You could have just tell me what's important. Anyways, this is not a ranting video.
No ranting section.
Okay. My last 2 questions for you, Sana. Thank you so much for answering those. I feel like I'm going to have to divide this video into 2 separate parts, part 1 and 2. Oh, wow. I might do that.
You might have to. It's a little too long. Sorry, guys, I talk a lot.
No, don't be sorry. It's good.
I just feel like I want to be transparent and honest. I think that was my main intention coming into this.
Don't be sorry at all. It's part 1 and part 2. It's good for us. It's good for everyone. We just have to take 2 pictures for the 2 thumbnails. Okay, all right. My last 2 questions for you. Well, 1 for you, and then you, if you have any questions for me, you can ask me. How do you manage your time in all of this?
Okay, there is no perfect answer, guys. Genuinely, I feel like when I was not just UOB in general, when I was researching about law school in itself and what it takes and everything, I feel like there was a lot of TikTok accounts and like they were like glamorizing and idealizing the way law school is. And I get it. Maybe for them it works. No hate.
No.
For them.
No, it's edited. I'm not on TikTok, so I don't know what you watch. Actually, I'm just saying no.
It's like a bunch of videos where they're just like they set it up and they're like, oh, study with me for the next 4 hours, and it's like just them like reading a textbook and highlighting, and I'm like, how do you sit there for 4 hours? I get hungry after the first one. Like it's like crazy. I'm like, how?
That's not reality. It's like when we went to tort lectures. I remember Sam saying she had a slide of different shows: Legally Blonde, Suits, what other legal series and movies they were, and she's like, if this is your idea of what law school is, this is not reality. And that's exactly what social media is. It's not reality. That's why I'm saying edited.
For sure. Yeah, I realized that on my own because I feel like that was one thing I wanted to be honest with, is that sometimes even when you feel like you've caught up, you're paying with a different aspect of yourself. That's usually like your mental health. Yeah. You're not, if you're caught up, I have never been in a position where I was fully content, where I was like, I gave enough time to myself. I gave enough time to my work stuff. I gave enough time to applying. I given enough time to my readings. I have never felt content. There's always some drawback of something I didn't do enough. Yeah. And I feel like that is the toll of law school. Mm-hmm. And if anyone tells you otherwise, liars. Or they're just gifted. Liars. I just genuinely...
Do you know what it means to be on top? It means that freaking... You know how many cases we have to read? I always rave about the cases. Cases are not articles. They're also separate from textbook readings that you have to read. And they're also blog posts. And they're like, oh, you choose what you want to read as well. So it's like, no, it's a lot. There's no one that can ever be.
There's a lot.
Like, unless you're a superhuman. Yeah.
But yeah, genuinely, I do feel like law school is a journey for yourself. But you can't... I feel like the second you start beating yourself over it, it is so bad for you. Yeah. Mentally, too. Mm-hmm. So I feel like, for me, when you asked me how I managed my time, I really didn't. It was... No, I didn't.
I didn't expect this answer.
No, but that's what I mean, though. Because like, when we say, like, you manage your time, that means you did a good job at it. No, I don't think I did.
No, it could be, for example, all of us have schedules. Yeah. It could be you putting it on your calendar, like you showed me your calendar today of, we have a meeting today. Yeah. That's time management.
I try to, of course, no, I try to, but I'm talking about like perfection of it.
Oh,
it's
no,
not,
no,
yeah.
no.
Of course, like for me, the way I like organize myself is definitely through my Outlook calendar. I've synced like my regular calendar plus like the university calendar, which makes it easier because it updates any meetings for pro bono, any meetings with anyone. It just updates it, which is efficient. But why I said like you can't manage your time in the sense is like.
It won't be as perfect as you want it to be.
You could say I'm gonna get this much stuff done throughout the day, but you only have so many hours.
Yeah.
And the second you start sacrificing things like eating, sleeping, or like your time for yourself, or just stepping out into the world, you know, that's something I started this year because everyone was like, "What did you do as an international student? Like in terms of like there's so many countries near us. What did you do?" I'm like nothing because I was just stuck at home. Either I was working, rotting, or just like nothing. So then I went to Palma. It was great, guys. Definitely the reason why I worked was to have some experience here in terms of like the fun of things. So Palma was great. But yeah.
Where is Palma, Spain?
Yeah, it's an island off of Spain. Palma de Mallorca.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. No, that's nice. I totally get what you mean. I think if I was to relate my experience to yours, I would say I was more stressed out and unkind to myself in the first semester.
Exactly.
I was booking office hours with all the profs. I'm like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. And they're like, just calm down. Right now, you should, understand the material. Heck, the material is not making sense to me. Yeah. I left school 4 years ago. It was easy for me to catch stuff up. And everything you all are saying in lecture, it wasn't making sense in my handwritten notes.
Oh, yeah, the handwritten notes.
My handwritten notes. But yeah, coming into second year, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to take it one day at a time. Yeah. I'm not going to, if I don't understand something, that's a sign. Move on to something else and come back to it. So yeah, I totally get what you mean with like everything that you said.
But it's definitely doable if you have the right support system around you. I think it's
perfection
really
is not doable.
Sorry?
Perfection is not doable.
Yeah, perfection is not in that aspect. But I do think like in terms of law school, you are made for it. You can do it. Genuinely, like I don't think like I feel like I beat myself over initially. I'm like, even if I get in, like, how is it gonna be? People are so much smarter than me or whatever. But I genuinely think that when you have the right system, and it's about what you feed yourself, right?
Yes.
That I can do this and I will do this because one, I'm paying a lot of money, okay? Second, okay, there's a lot you expect from yourself. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, genuinely. So yeah, I think that should be your drive.
Plus, you've made all the sacrifices, traveled all the way across the world, and we didn't talk about tuition, but there are other things that are expensive here. There's rent. I mean, food is good. Grocery prices are nice, I would say. Yeah. But there's flight tickets. Yeah. Like having to fly back and forth, and there's the strain of not having your family around, people in different time zones. So there's a lot that we're sacrificing to be here and pursue this dream for 2 years, and I would dare to say 44 weeks because it's 11 weeks of school. Yeah. And so we have to give it our best because we're never going to get a time like this. Literally ever again. It's all going to be memories and like YouTube videos. But yeah, that's true. All right, thank you so much for answering all my long questions, Sana. I'm definitely going to split this video into two, which is good for me and good for us. My last question to you will be, do you have any questions for me? Maybe it's my turn to be a yapper.
Yeah, guys, she's calling me professional yapper, guys. I yap too much, I know. I just feel like this was like a chance for me to be honest and transparent. That's for good. Anyone who may benefit in the years to come.
Yes.
They genuinely deserve an honest answer. Any questions for you? Was I your best guest?
Is that a mic?
Yeah.
I can't tell you you're my best guest. I have so many guests, and I have more guests coming.
Political answer, legal student. Makes sense.
See, I'm learning something.
Wrap this up.
I'm learning something. I don't know. No, you weren't my best guest. I don't have any best guests.
So you love them all equal?
I don't love my guests.
Do you love me?
I like them.
Do you like me?
I do like you. If I didn't like you, I won't ask you.
Okay, guys, she likes me. That's all that matters.
Love is a very strong word.
Oh, whoa. Oh, I didn't know we were being technical like that.
I don't love.
Damn. Damn. Okay.
No, I love the commitment that my guests have to coming on here, taking out their time, showing up when you guys, ladies and gentlemen, didn't really have to do it. But I think that it's a commitment, and for you to give me your word, because your word means a lot to me. And so for you to say yes, and then I know that you also prepared for this interview, and every other guest has prepared, because I've sent people questions ahead of time. They've seen it. Like it's a commitment that I love and I admire. And also because I'm a committed person as well, I admire that part when I see it in other people.
Oh, of course.
So you said we should be honest. I don't love my guests. I don't know. Do you love me,
Well, you're
Sana?
sticking to a technicality.
Do you love me, Sana? Do you love me?
I love the person and soul that you bring.
Just ask me something. Oh, damn it.
Guys, this is very unprofessional. Come on, guys.
We are not professional. We are friends.
I know. I know.
Hook me up with a job.
But
with the
before
GTA.
we end this interview,
okay, yeah.
I need to tell you that genuinely, from the future selves of other people, genuinely appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
As someone who had no resources, as someone who had nothing to look up to, you are making life so much easier, but you don't know it yet because you haven't seen your impact yet.
Yeah.
But genuinely, this is appreciated.
Thank
you.
So
much.
Thank you.
Genuinely.
Thank you. I would say that out of all my guests, you asked me the easiest question, but I had to give a difficult answer. Because everyone has asked me like detailed questions. You know, Paul asked me, where do I see myself in 10 years? I was like,
oh, whoa.
10 years? I'm trying to get to the next day. I think Kate asked me something else. Sabrina asked me why I was doing the video. Who else have I had? Julie asked me to, but your question was unique, and I thought it was going to be, I had to start thinking about something to say, but thank you for your genuine question. That's something unique to your interview.
No, guys.
Final question, take 2. Do you have any questions for me, Sana?
No, I did not have any questions for you, but thank you for all the questions you had for me.
What a surprise!
Genuinely appreciate all the time you put in to asking me questions. I'll give you a break, enough with the yapping and the talking. We've been talking for like 50 minutes now.
Literally.
You need to go grab something to eat, but thank you genuinely for your time.
You're right. For that, you're my favorite guest. For not asking me any questions.
Add me on LinkedIn, guys. Okay.
Really? Really?
For what?
You want people to add you? You want me to put your LinkedIn name, your details?
100%, guys.
Okay.
Any questions you guys have, formal, informal, relax, just send me any questions because I wish someone was that open to me.
Okay.
If someone was that open to asking or answering questions like that. So by all means, add me.
I'll put a screenshot of your famous LinkedIn page. You also can stalk Sana. Stalking quotes, not like actual stalking.
Yeah. And then tell me you guys came from YouTube.
Yeah. Do that. You might get extra points. Maybe, Sana might have her own firm in the future. And you're like,
right?
Oh, I saw you on this channel. You're like,
can we intern? I'll be like, did you guys see Ella's video? Did you guys like it?
Are you subscribed? Show me your details.
Forget the interview. You're hired. But yeah, no, genuinely, any questions, either in your YouTube comments, like at the bottom, or LinkedIn, anything.
Okay.
Any questions you guys have, just please ask, because asking will always only make it easier for you to make decisions, and knowledge-wise too. It's always good.
That's true. I agree. All right, to wrap this up, part 2, because this half will be part 2. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching up until this time. If you enjoyed the video, well, you must have enjoyed the video. Why wouldn't you enjoy the video?
Right?
What wouldn't you like?
Right? We yapped for like 50 minutes. How could you not like this?
We took the room back.
I say we make a podcast.
That's a lot of work, man. I'm trying to
Is
get
that not
through.
easier?
I actually don't know. I never tried.
I think that's easier.
It
Forget
is?
setting that up. You just sit there
And
talk.
That's
and have
true.
like one thumbnail the entire time.
That's fair. That's true. I don't listen to podcasts too, so maybe that's why I
Me
don't
neither.
really, like I watch the podcast on YouTube, the videos about the podcast, but I don't like listening to people talking about it. But it's something if I have time in the future, I might explore that.
Fair.
Let's see. And yeah, so thank you for watching. If you have any questions for myself or for Sana, leave it in the comment section. Tell us what your favorite part of today's video is. Like, share, subscribe if you haven't already done so. Turn on your notification bell so you get notified whenever I post my video. And what else? Share, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in my next video.
Bye.
The video. This is after the interview. Bloopers. It's not something that can be done for us because we're already in the program.
Behind the scenes with Ella.
Okay, I want that video actually.
Practicing as a solicitor for further 3 years.
The one thing my friends told me is like, keep straight. I'm like, I know I slouch
You
sometimes.
spread the word about it.
100%. Everyone, why are you getting ready today? I'm like,
Yeah, you can slouch and not know. Okay, bye.
Bye.